but he really made it sound like Jalen Hurts is his BFF. That they're
Yeah,
not
they
just
were really
pals, they're not
close.
just boys,
Yeah.
they're like lifelong friends, and that that was one of his main goals in the NFL was to catch balls from his guy, Jalen Hurts. How much effect do you think Hurts had on the acquisition of Brown? John McMullen, Jody McDonald, your Birds 365 guys here on the JAKIB Media YouTube channel. Hey, punch that like button. We could use some
Like,
help.
share, subscribe, Jody McDonald.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate those who've been tuning in. Our numbers have been up the last couple of days, understandably, because the Eagles had as successful a draft as they did. This is a moving and shaking time, and the Eagles have not only added via the draft, they subtracted Nate Herbig yesterday. John and I talked about that at the top of the show. They did introduce A.J. Brown to the people here in Philadelphia. Kid's got a personality, and I like a little personality with my wide receiver. Now, there are divas, and then there are divas. Some guys can take it a bit too far. I didn't get that. It was our first chance to meet him, and you guys will get a chance to talk to him plenty over the next couple of years. But he really made it sound like Jalen Hurts is his BFF. That they're
Yeah,
not
they
just
were really
pals, they're not
close.
just boys,
Yeah.
they're like lifelong friends, and that that was one of his main goals in the NFL was to catch balls from his guy, Jalen Hurts. How much effect do you think Hurts had on the acquisition of Brown?
I think a little bit. I do think, he did mention it was bittersweet leaving Tennessee. I do think he would have, his first choice would have been for Tennessee to pay him. Um, I think, he developed there. Uh, I think he liked it there. And he was a little hurt that the Titans didn't want to give him the money and extend him. And then when that didn't become an option, then it became, yeah, I want to go play with my buddy. Um, and they got close during when he was getting recruited by Alabama is when they got close. And he didn't go to Alabama, obviously, but they got coached so close that they, stayed friends. And they talk all the time. Everybody saw they were working out. Everybody saw the video of when AJ got drafted. Um, they're very, very close. So yeah, once Tennessee was out of the equation, I think, Philadelphia was we always talk about, do receivers want to come here? Well, this receiver wanted to come here. So everything is about individual situations. And this is one. I always joke about Jalen Hurts. The one thing about Jalen Hurts, guy's got more friends than anybody in the world. I mean, everybody loves the guy. Everybody loves the guy. It's unbelievable. People gravitate towards him. Um, and that's one of the reasons why the Eagles are excited about his development. That and the fact that he's constantly improved year over year, which is rare. You usually have some ebbs and flows and some downticks. And he's got consistently better. Really, even when he got benched at Alabama, he was better that season than the year before. Um, so a lot of good things to like about Jalen Hurts. But now we're at that point, Jody. There's no more, in the past you could say, well, the Eagles don't have this, they don't have that. This one domino, I was talking about this. We did a football 24/7 hit with Xander. I did with Xander Krause after the press conference. This one domino, man, you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders in a contract year, Kenny Gainwell, who the Eagles think is going to be a really good third down receiving back, one of the, at worst, top 5 offensive lines in the league, maybe the best. There's not going to be any hemming and hawing. We were still doing that this offseason. Well, is he good enough? Is he not good enough? Because you have these, well, he didn't have this, he didn't have that, he didn't have this. No more. No more. If they're healthy, that's a good group. That's a good group on paper.
It is. He's got certainly the best conglomerate of weapons that he's ever had. What is the thing? And I know this can probably change between now and when the season starts. And you and I are both analytics guys to a point. We're not slaves to them, but we do understand the use of them and the like. What is the thing that the one stat, if there is one stat, that you will zero in on when you're analyzing Jalen Hurts? Not only is he helping the Eagles win games, but is he showing that he's going to be the quarterback that is going to carry them? It's been a year-to-year thing. They drafted him. He was going to be a backup. Carson Wentz goes off the deep end and decides he doesn't want to be here anymore. Boom, he's the starting quarterback at the end of his rookie year. Then this past year, he's handed the starting quarterback job with measured expectations, and people like certain things that he did, and here's what he has to improve on. What is the biggest thing he has to improve on that we can glean through statistics this offseason that you need to see Jalen Hurts get better at?
Well, unfortunately, I don't think there is a number. I think if there was, it would be easier. I think it's more about efficiency, and the Eagles are going to know. And I said with Damo yesterday, I put the over under at 6 games. He said more half the season, 8, but somewhere in that range, 8, 9 games, you're going to know. And how are you going to know? Well, the efficiency of the offense. If they're not efficient by that point, you're gonna know. All right, this is not the guy. I mean, we've done everything possible, um, and from the Eagles' standpoint, it's about things like, all right, you're Nick Sirianni. You know the progression of a certain play. You called it. You developed it. You drew up the play. You know where the football is going to go. One of the concerns the Eagles have is the hesitancy to throw the football when it's on time, when it needs to be thrown. And again, in the past, you could say, well, he doesn't trust this receiver. He doesn't trust this receiver. And I don't want to say which receiver because I might get blocked. But, we could say that, incredibly say that, credibly say it, and say, well, these guys aren't good enough. So, I don't want to call it an excuse, better called an explanation, but there were explanations for why Jalen Hurts didn't succeed because of the supporting cast. Those are gone. Those are gone, barring injuries, of course, and everything's barring injuries. But you can't have much better than AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. You can't have much better than Miles has got to play better, but you have enough in the backfield. You can't have a superstar at every position. We know the offensive line. I mean, what more could you ask for, Jody, as a quarterback in this league?
And I hear what you're saying, but there is one issue that I think you're just miscalculating. I don't want to say glossing over, but you may be miscalculating. Oh, there is the possibility that Jalen Hurts can land in that great spot again next year.
Boy.
He did this year, and you're right. With A.J. Brown as an addition, the explanations do not exist the way that they did this season with Jalen Hurts' quarterback play. So let's say he goes from 3,100 yards to 3,500 yards. Oh, it's better. Let's say he goes from 16 touchdown passes to 22 or 23 touchdown passes. Oh, he's up almost 33%. Let's say his completion percentage goes up from 61 to 66 and change. Well, some quarterbacks are completing 70%, so he's not there, but he showed improvement, went up by 5 or 6 points, and his quarterback rating goes from 87.2 to 93. Yeah, you want to see 100, but he went up 95, 96. You don't think he can possibly land in that gray area zone again where we're still going?
Well,
yeah,
there's
but
that yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll debate it on this show. Maybe callers on WIP with you will certainly debate it. But the Eagles are not going to be debating it. I'm talking about the Eagles. Now, there's even a way where Jalen Hurts is going to be the starter again next year, because one of the problems with what the Eagles have done is they're not going to be that bad. I mean, they're not going to be a bad football
No,
team.
they made the
So
playoffs this year. Why can't they make the playoffs next year? They
you
just
could
added AJ
argue
Brown.
they're the best team in the division and not the second best team. We'll see how it shakes out, because I think Dallas has come back to them. But um, they're not going to be in a position to get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. So they might have to go with Jalen Hurts again as the quarterback, but they will know either we have to get better and this is a bridge, or this is our guy. That's what I'm talking. Sometimes you can't get better. Sometimes you want to get better. The Eagles want a corner. They want a safety right now. Sometimes you can't get everything you want. And you got to go forward with what you have, or the best what you can acquire. So they might be in that position, but they will know. There will be no more we no more we're thinking about this could be the guy. They will know it's a bridge at that point, is what I'm trying to say.
All right, they may know, but they may put up a front that says we know. Here's what we're doing, but not really know behind the scenes. And that's why we have shows like Birds 365 to debate it. That's why they have Inside the Birds podcast with our buddy Jeff Mosher and Adam Kaplan. Oh, that Mosher guy's going to join us next. John McMullen, Jody McDonald here with you on Birds 365.